Hello everyone, I'm Rahul Arora, a full-time trader and now a fund manager as well. I'm also the founder of StarTrader.in, which is an initiative to help enthusiastic and passionate traders who've already been trading or individuals who've not traded so far but are passionate to become better traders or full-time traders. It's an initiative to help them out and guide them throughout until they become profitable, and even after that, together keep working. It's been a year now. We started in 2017 and the results have been brilliant. We now have a group of consistently profitable and successful retail traders, 4 of which are now working at a prop desk, 2 of which have been hired by me for my own fund to trade on, and there are others who are trading for themselves. Now I'm here to tell you why you should be joining the Learn and Earn group and what should you be expecting. But before we begin, there's one thing that's utmost important and should be done from your end. And that is that it is for you to decide whether or not should you become a trader. Because trading is not something that can be done partially. It requires your dedication, it requires your passion, and it's not as simple as just coming up with a chart and putting random indicators or something you've seen on YouTube and buy here and sell there. It doesn't work that way. So you have to be passionate and you have to decide whether or not you're supposed to trade. And once you're done with that, then join the group and then begins your journey. So firstly, after you register on StarTrader.in for the learning group, we have a personal discussion one-on-one where basically we try and understand what kind of a trader should you be. There is no single strategy or no single methodology that can be applied or is the same for all. Every person comes from a different personal background, financial background, has different sets of responsibilities. But that is what we need to consider before you begin this journey. Now, on the existing group, there are people from the age of 18 to 55. So there's someone who's a student, completely dependent on their family, and there's someone who's retired, and a lot of people in between. Someone who's not married, working, someone who's married and has kids and still working. So almost 70% of the people are working. Now, we cannot have an approach considering the risk involved for each of these individuals. The same goes for you. So once you join, we have this conversation, and that's where we figure out a roadmap for your trading journey. And what kind of a trader should you be? How much time is it that you'll be able to dedicate? What are the kind of responsibilities you have? And based on that, we get to know what kind of risk you can take. Should you be a positional trader? Should you be a very short-term trader? Should you be a day trader? Should you be a swing trader, or maybe take up positions for a few months? Now, accordingly, we plan the roadmap ahead, and then we have a clearer picture as to what is it that is the best for you. Secondly, now throughout the journey, the learning process, you will be exposed to almost all kinds of derivative and financial instruments that are out there to trade. But we focus on the instruments that suit your objectives, your risk capacity the best. Most of the time, retail traders are, very messy. They want to trade options, they want to buy options, they want to sell options, they want to trade futures, commodities, and they consider, everything to be the same and just blindly go for some technicals that they've seen somewhere or read somewhere. That's not how it works. This is mainly for those who have a job or a responsibility. So if you don't have that and you want to be a full-time trader, then definitely you can trade multiple instruments. But if you are not in a position to take a lot of risk, have responsibilities, and cannot take up trading full-time, then we focus on a few particular instruments which suit your kind of trading, which the approach that we have for you, customized the best. Could be options, could be just buying options, could be writing options if you're looking for a fixed income, could be just trading equity for cash, could be as simple as that, or could be maybe just trading gold or crude oil or certain metals or commodities which basically are open late, and so when you're back from work, you're still able to trade them. Maybe currencies. So this depends on the kind of orientation we have for your goals and your objectives. While learning about everything is great, but focus is important. And that's what we do in our second step. Decide what instrument, what security, what asset is the best for you to trade in order to achieve your goals, in order to be consistently profitable. And profit is in terms of percentage, irrespective of which instrument you trade. It's only the risk that varies, it's only the timings and other such factors that vary. But eventually the goal is for you to be consistently profitable with whatever risk capacity you have and come from. Point number 3. Once we've decided which assets or instruments are the best for you to trade, then we make sure that you know everything about it. You know everything in terms of its fundamentals, in the characteristics, because each instrument has a different touch to it, a different nature that it follows, different factors that affect it. So we make sure that fundamentally you know everything about it. Technically you know everything about it. We already have tons of backtested data to help you skip a lot of work, and throughout the process we will together be learning about the tiniest of aspect of that instrument, and so that you're better prepared when you go into the market, and it's not just about buying low, sell high. It's not just about that, because to be able to do that well, to be able to do that consistently, you need to know what the asset is, how it works, what's affecting it. And if you don't know any of it, if you don't know what you're dealing with, then it's highly doubtful that you can remain in business for long, be it any business for that matter. Step 4. So until now, we know what approach to take. We know the risk capacity that you have, the goals and objectives that you have, the responsibilities that you have. More importantly, we are sure of the instruments you're going to trade, the kind of trader that you want to be in terms of, again, risk and profitability, the instruments and everything above, everything fundamental, and all the characteristics and factors that affect that instrument. So we're aware of all of that. We've done our technical analysis, backtested it, tried it, and we've been charting together. So we have charting sessions where you and me are connected on live and share screens together and do all of that charting and technical stuff together. Now comes the time for live trading. That's step 4. You practice everything that you've learned in real time with me and all the other traders on the group. This is the most important phase. This is your first step. So it might not be with real money yet, but this is where you begin to understand the application aspect to what you know and how to apply it. Because 90% of the people know what is to be done, but they don't do it or they fail to execute. That's step 4. Number 5, that's the finishing touch. So after you've done live trading or paper trading or testing with me and other traders as well, so now you have a very clear and well-defined idea about the instrument you're going to trade, how it moves, what's the volatility, what affects it, the events, and how the events can affect the instruments. So now we build a trading system. From all that we've learned, we build a system which you would have to dedicatedly follow, which includes your entry, your exit, the conditions, the risk that you're willing to take per trade, the kind of time frames you're looking at. So a complete trading system which is supposed to be followed by you every day or with every trade, and it's going to be the holy Bible for you. So you have to follow this religiously. Once you've accepted this, then comes one of the I wouldn't say the most difficult, but the most exciting parts. Phase number 6, and that is asking yourself, should you start off with real money? And I'll be there to help you make that decision. Are you ready to trade with real money? When you are, you have to decide. It won't be me. I can only help you. You have to decide what are the capital requirements, what are the margin requirements, with what's the basic total investment that would go into your trading process or trading system without you having to over leverage, because over leveraging kills most of the traders who fail because they're over leveraged. So accordingly we decide the capital required for you to trade without over leveraging yourself. Definitely we can start off with, so the advantage is if you're trading any derivative apart from maybe equity futures. So the advantage there is these are not capital intensive. You have the option, for example, trading commodities, you have the option to trade minis. So there you don't require much capital. That's very for a few thousand rupees. So that is still real money at stake, but you're learning as well. So we can begin that way, and slowly as you get used to it, because you'll be trading live with me, other traders, it's all transparent. You have every time you get into a trade or you're planning to get into trade, you have a question, you can just ping me or you just post it on the group, and I'll let you know my feedback on your analysis for or reasons to get into the trade. So this is where the real trading story begins. Phase 7 is where we understand everything about risk management, because that is what actually retail traders don't understand the most, and that's the most damaging part for traders. So you learn how to never lose your capital. Losses and profits are a part, but I don't understand the point where people blow the account. I've done it myself as well during my initial days. But then once you start understanding how risk management works, you realize what a fool you've been. That is, if you've been trading and losing. And if you've not, then you feel enlightened. So risk management, basically how to never blow your account and not lose all of your capital. That is what we do. Step number 8. This is also extremely important. That is your psychology, your mindset. Almost every trader these days knows what technical analysis is. They know all the indicators, and they keep doing this thing and keep going through books and videos and various other courses on technical analysis. That's not enough to make you a good trader. Technical analysis is only a small part of the entire trading process. It's a very small part, maybe 20%. It gives you your entry and exit points. It helps you analyze data. That's it. But to stick to them. So you have a plan, you have a trading system and strategy, but when you're entering the trade, you need to ask yourself, am I going to stick to it? Am I going to stick to what I've planned? That's your psychology. This is where people miss out on. Not cutting losses short. Everybody keeps saying about it, but everybody again keeps repeating it. So your mindset is what we'll together be fixing, and giving you a taste of how prop desk traders, professional traders or fund managers trade, because we can't afford to lose a lot of our capital. Else, either we'll be kicked out or not just kicked out, even worse, the investors, maybe they can even kill us. So we can't afford to lose a lot of money. So the psychology of a professional trader, understanding how money works, how trading works, how it's built the entire account of yours instead of being blown. That is step 8, which we'll be focusing on. Step 9 is basically, so this is where you start trading slowly and steadily with me, with everybody, real time, real money. Now this is where you execute your first trade. That is step number 9. So this is where we start off. There is no more. We've done all of our planning, all of our working, everything. And by now you have understood that what is it that's not to be done, definitely. This is where the real journey begins. Although we're towards the end of our 10 steps, this is where it begins actually. So real-time live trading with money, with cash, and that's step 9. With me guiding you and helping you throughout the process, helping you size your positions well, because that position sizing, your risk management, is basically all of the 8 steps before combined, and here we execute them. So that's step 9. And the last thing, that's the phase 10 or step 10, is just practice. So we do this daily, every week, every month together. So the course isn't time bound, because trust me, you cannot guarantee someone to become a great trader in a month or 2. No, that doesn't happen. But definitely you can have a time frame on the learning and all the 9 other steps. So step number 10 is just practice, practice and practice. And we do it together. I am with you. The others are trading with you. There are new people, experienced traders. Everybody's trading together. And we just keep doing this with no end to it. And this is where you grow as a trader. This is where we just keep doing this until you are. So if you are someone who's passionate about trading, who wants to become independent, is enthusiastic and serious, you can go on to www.startrader.in, and under the program Learn and Earn, you can register yourself. However, I take it very personally, the teaching process. So if you end up being not very serious, and we've had those cases, a lot of them, otherwise I would have filled in a lot of people. No, I keep it very private because I want everybody to learn from me very personally. Yeah, so you have to be serious. That's the only prerequisite that you need to have, because if you just join the group to just have a look at how I'm trading and copy my trades or copy some other person's other traders' trades maybe. So if you're just there for tips or something, I will just initiate a refund and I'll have to ask you to leave, because I am just wanting people who are serious. My objective is that in the next 3 to 5 years to have the largest group of successful, profitable retail and non-retail stock traders coming from StarTrader.